Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about logbooks and how profitable they actually are. In short, logbooks are an incredible source of profit if done correctly, and will reward knowledge of the game mechanics manifold. If you had short encounters with logbooks already where there wasn't much profit to be made, don't worry, over time you will learn a lot of small and hidden things yourself, and your profit will go up and up as you learn more and more. With how demanding the new mechanic is, there's also the downside of actually having to engage with the encounters correctly, which means that this is no brainless grinding session where you can study for your science classes on the side. Logbooks are nothing like other encounters in the game, as you aren't just throwing your corpse against waves of monsters like you would in Simulacrum, go to bed early like you would after your 5 ways, or simply stand there with a minion army as you would in Blind Maps. I know a lot of content creators did currency videos about logbooks already, but since I wanted to try them anyways, I thought I might as well share what I find, and I tried to give it my own spin in the process. With that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, so there we have 100 logbooks. Now, one variable that I will not take into account, or at least try to not take into account, is regions, which if you want to min-max those, you will have to snipe a lot of maps or have to buy a lot more expensive, or you have to wait a lot longer to get to 100 maps. So there's some layouts that are just better than others, but for the sake of realism, we will be taking whatever. I have some really good layouts, I have some really crappy layouts. It will even out in the end. If you want more info on layouts, definitely check out Firegrass. He did a great video about it. I will link it down in the description. He has some very nice spreadsheets there. So if you want to go in depth, for example, if you want to only do this all week long, I would definitely go for his video as well. What I will be doing here is simply show you what kind of returns you will get if you just do your logbooks, or if you just want to buy them randomly, or if you're doing them for like the challenge or whatever. There is a end game grind, if I remember correctly, for complete logbooks of 80 or higher. I already did some to kind of prepare myself for this challenge. Definitely check his videos out. So one thing I want to make clear is that this content here with logbooks is actually very knowledge-based. Some people are comparing these to blighted maps, and I just want to point out that there is a lot of variables to take into account here, a lot of things you can know to make more currency, whereas in stuff like blighted maps or like Simulacrum, where you just throw your corpse against enemies, there's not much to get out there. You get random loot at the end. This is very, very much knowledge-based. So if you go in depth with these, you will have a great payout, and it can be the difference between you literally making 30 or 200 C. So if you want some of that knowledge, I put a video out on me running an expedition from start to finish, where I go over every small detail that I know, and those will be very, very valuable while doing these, especially if you do a lot of them. They will be the decider of you making currency or only breaking even or whatever. So definitely check that one out. This video will be about the currency we make per hour and per logbook. So let's set some ground rules for what I actually want from all of these logbooks to kind of have an even sample size. It's basically, I want all of them at least at 50 quantity. You cannot chisel these, so 50 is actually quite decent. I obviously had to reroll and stuff. That's all taken into account here at the end of the day. But we want either Black Scythe Mercenaries or Knight of the Sun. They both have very similar worth of their currency, so everything but Knights of the Sun and Black Scythe Mercenaries is not really worth running, or at least you should be buying for way, way less than what I did. But those, if I have to decide between the two, I will take implicits into account, which implicits are better, and which layout is better there. But other than that, it doesn't matter as much. Like the reroll currency of Knights of the Sun is worth a little bit more than the one of the Black Scythe Mercenaries, but Black Scythe Mercenaries has other currencies that are worth more. So in the end, it kind of evens out. But yeah, those are the two you want to focus on. Also, I tried to go for most of them at level 84 or more. I think there's like one or two in there that are like 83, yeah. So let's just say they're all over 83 at least. Most of them are 84 though. And what I did as well is use the Split Beast. So the Split Beast is the Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid. A lot of you guys will already know it. A very infamous kind of beast right there. And you can basically copy these. So what you will see is that a lot of these have the split tag on the very bottom right there. And that is basically just from splitting the logbook in two. And the thing is, you have to look at the prices, but Phenomenal Plague Arachnus, as of this recording, are like 33C or something. And these kind of logbooks cost me like 40C plus. So I'm just saving some monies there. And obviously that brings the cost down. So you just buy 50 logbooks and then you split them and you have 100. Which is really, really nice. And overall, you bring the cost down. Now, something you also have to understand is that blessed orbs are really, really important for logbooks. So this is something you might actually miss at the start, and it's definitely something I did not realize until I saw some content creators' videos. But if you go over this, for example, you will, if I alt and see the roll ranges, you will see that a lot of these are roll from like 10 to 40, just looking at the implicits, or like 20 to 50 or something. So there's a very big range. So you actually want to blessed orb these to get the best outcome. Now, one tip, definitely, since you are going to split most likely, unless you're doing like low level ones or whatever, but these high level ones where splitting is actually worth it, before you split them, bless orb them, because the split will have the exactly same implicits. So you can save on a lot of blessed orbs if you bless them before. So reroll the implicits to be something decent. For this video, I've basically taken something decent somewhere in the top 25% range, because right now blessed orbs are almost a chaos, so I don't want to go overboard on it. But on average, I spent 2.67 per map. Is that correct? Yeah, I spent 2.67 chaos worth of blessed orbs, so that's around 3 blessed orbs per map. To reroll it to somewhere where it's at least decent. Now, something at the end I want to mention is that be careful that you look if your logbook actually has a boss, because these go for a lot more, whether it is for completion or for the uniques that they drop, or just in general them giving more rewards in the map. But for example, this map, as you can see on the Black Scythe Mercenary, area contains Vorana Last to Fall. That is one of the 4 bosses you can get, and these sell for a lot more. So when you're selling your logbooks, always look out if you have some kind of boss there. You can also search for it on the trade side, which I will show you real quick. So as you can see here, there is a search for it. Implicit area contains an expedition boss. And you can go for one of the 4 bosses here, and that's how you can basically filter it out. For example, if you go for Vorana here, we will see that they start at like 70, 80C. So don't sell these for too little, because some of these bosses, I think it was Orof, was the big boy one. Yeah, so these go for like 4x or something. So if you get lucky enough and you have this one, definitely don't sell them for like 40C, just as a friendly warning. I think the other ones go for like an X. I think Uthred goes for like an X, for example. Yeah, something like an X. So definitely keep out for that. Now, all that is basically left to do now is actually run these, and yeah, see you in, I don't know, 2 days or something. All right, so after I'm finished, the first thing I want to say is that I have never had as much fun with a mechanic, especially doing like 100 and checking how much currency it is. Usually it gets really, really bland around like the halfway mark. Like, I remember doing this with like 5 ways and whatnot. This was so much fun. So if you are in for not just mindless grinding, but kind of like a puzzle solving thing in there, this is actually awesome. I can just basically tell anybody to do logbooks if you want to have fun. It's also worth it. We're going to go over it in a second here, but I just want to say that the fun factor is definitely there. I think that GGG completely outdid themselves. Whatever this league does for people, however negative it has been received, however the other changes affect it, I understand. But the logbooks themselves are premium. So first, let's go over all the currency that I made, all the way from the special tab all the way to the 9 tab here. We'll go through everything. So we dropped a lot of artifacts. Like I said, I am specializing in Black Scythe and the Knights of the Sun, which will up the price for my logbooks, but that's fine. Overall, it's extremely worth it. As you can see, exotic coinage. So the artifacts alone are like already profit. Like, even if we don't take any of these other maps, just this tab alone here is already like 2000C profit or something. So it is basically impossible to lose money with logbooks. I don't care how bad you are at this shit. It doesn't matter. This is crazy. So when I price checked these, I couldn't believe my eyes. But yeah, so that's basically the special currency. I didn't know that there was actually stack sizes, but there was stack sizes even in the stash. This is the raw currency that we dropped. Now, nothing really too fancy here. The Exalt, there was like 2 raw Exalt drops, and the rest was all from Exalted Shards. I just want to mention that. Other than that, these divines were all from 6 links that were basically useless. Now in here, there was a lot of ritual splinters dropping. Unfortunately, ritual vessels aren't worth that much. Other than that, nothing too fancy. Not a lot of breach dropping whatsoever. Scarabs were like okay, but also not that much. Now maps are aplenty in here. So we have these 2 tabs full of maps. Not really many like shape or elder thingies, but I want to also talk about, like, I have my atlas actually set up to where I can drop T10s because beaches sell very, very well. Bogs at T11 sell very well. Sepulchres at T12 sell very well, and the Spider Forest as well at T13. So I have my atlas set up for maximum profits. But yeah, this is basically the outcome of that. Next up, divination cards. A ton of stack decks. Not that many crazy divination cards. I didn't actually get lucky at all this run, which is funny when you see how much currency I made. Peaceful Moments is worth some. Patient, Ezran's Reward, Note in the Wind. Those are like the highlights, but most of the money comes from just straight up stack decks. I won't be opening these because then I would be introducing another layer of RNG. Like if I drop like a mirror card, all of a sudden I could say like, oh, 30x per hour or something. So I'm just going to leave them as stack decks. A lot of cluster jewels as well, and most of them are eye level 84 or even 85. I don't know exactly how these work, if they're exactly the drop level of the map, but yeah, a lot of cluster jewels, a lot of deli maps as well. Like these are just pre-delied. A lot of blight, additional blight encounter. I didn't really put these into consideration because I'm not going to sell the blight encounters. I just want to kind of extract them here. But as you can see, delirium maps, these one here and these one here. Now, scarab rewards are earned like 3. I have been taking these into account. The app that I'm using does not take delirium stuff into account, but you can sell these pretty well. As you can see, a lot of these have actually 40-60% delirium. You can definitely sell these. Now, incubators, the app I'm using doesn't really price these very well. If you use them yourself, you make a lot more monies. So I do kind of compensate for that, but we're going to go into that. So as for gems, as you can see, a ton of 20 quality gems straight up, like level 1 20 quality. Like now you know why these are so inexpensive. I was wondering, like even meta skills cost like 8C or 7C or something. So that's probably why I'm going to be converting most of these to GCP, so they don't really count. The 21s are not really worth that much. None of the 21s came with quality, so that's interesting, I guess. And then I dropped an Empower and an Enhance, which are both pretty valuable. As for essences, a wide array of Screamings. Now, I will say after price checking this tab that I should have maybe focused Essence a little bit more. I think I underestimated it. I guess since not a lot of people are farming Haywalk Hamlet this league with essences, they got a little bit more expensive because people still need them for crafting. Overall, just 1 deafening essence, and I guess 4 corrupted essences is about expected. A few shriekings, but mostly these and a little bit of remnants. Then some fossils. These were also very valuable. No big boy resonators, unfortunately. And the catalysts were okay. We got like 20 fertiles, some prismatic, some tempering. This shit also doesn't get calculated by the trading app, so I had to kind of compensate for that because these blueprints are a lot of money. They are high level. Same with the contracts. These actually sell really well. As for the bases, I didn't take these into account at all. I dropped 3 Vorana's Preparation Unique Flasks from the bosses, and I dropped 3 Vorana's March. Most of my boss encounters were Vorana because I am in the Black Scythe region, which spawns Vorana. And then at the end, we have like some helmet bases. Now we have shield charge, attack speed, split arrow, additional projectiles, lightning trap, additional area, lightning spire trap, my bad, and some other fringe ones. I did kind of price check these, so I also compensate for them, but we will go into that in a bit. But yeah, overall, really good currency. Also, at the end, I have here a 15% dex synthesized amulet, which I put into 15 life gain on hit implicit, and this one, I don't really know what to do with this one, but remove ignite, I guess, and some life. I don't know. Let's go into actually calculations, how much I made per hour, how much I made per map. So yeah. All right, so we're now in Excellence Next, and I haven't really used this too much in a while, but I just imported basically the tabs that actually mattered. The 7, 8, and 9 tab, it doesn't take, as well as that you cannot calculate the artifact section. So this is only from all the tabs other than 7, 8, 9, and no artifacts included, and we made 6,200 chaos. I have 6,270 in my calculation because that was like an hour ago or something, so I'm like 30C off. I don't know, sue me. But yeah, so let's go into it here. The total artifact value, I priced all of these myself. These are bulk sell prices because obviously people pay more if you have a lot, and we have a lot. We actually, I think we're market like leader or something. Like we're one of the people who have the most after these 100 logbooks, so we can sell for a premium. Total artifact chaos was 7,388. Now compare that to the total cost, which ended up at 4,672 chaos, and you can already see here that we made like over 2,500 chaos just from the artifacts alone, not even going into the currency from Excellence. But yeah, this is basically a breakdown of all the stuff. Exotic coinage alone pays for like half the logbooks. It's absolutely insane. Also burial medallions, like I said, we also did some Black Suns, but Black Suns are a little bit more expensive, so I didn't want to pay more. I just basically bought whatever I got. And then we have currency from Excellence, so on top of that. And then we have other stuff. This is an estimation. So now here I have stashed up 7, 8, and 9 that Excellence couldn't calculate for me. And that is, if you think I'm bullshitting here, it's fine. Okay, you can remove this. Then it's going to be like a little bit less exalted per hour. Fine. It's going to be like 0.5x less. But if you trust me, I don't know, like heist stuff is around 350C. I did price check these. Helm enchants, I did an estimation. Daily maps, I did an estimation. Now, I also put like 100C on top because incubators actually give you more value if you use them yourself. Selling incubators is an absolute losing game. You should never do it ever with any of them, other than maybe the time lost, because that's just a gamble. And then rare bases, 350C. So these are actually, where are they? Like stuff like this, and then we have these here, yeah. So we have a lot of abyss jewels. If you know how to sell these can be very lucrative. But once again, if you're thinking I'm bullshitting on any of these, you can just remove it and recalculate it, and it will just spit out like 0.2x less per hour or whatever. So if we put this against the total cost of logbooks, we have a total profit of around about 10,000 chaos. Profit per logbook is around 100 chaos, which is crazy. I know a lot of content creators already did this, so you will already know the gist that this is kind of crazy profit. Now, what was different for me was the time it took me to actually complete the logbooks. This is no bragging. This is just what I did. That probably means that I just didn't think about it as much as other people did. I just went with the first strategy that I found interesting, or that I thought of, and I did actually do 7 logbooks per hour. Now, once again, if you think I'm bullshitting, just drop down the number, reevaluate, but that's just the honest truth. If you do it yourself and you do it fast, you will see that it's actually very, very doable. A lot of people say like average is like a 5 logbooks. I don't know if it's my build. I don't know if it's like my pacing. If it's just I didn't think about it that much. Take it with a grain of salt if you want to, but that is the honest truth, how much of them I ran per hour. It was super fast and super fun, and it is basically what you make of it. You can obviously like min-max every map. It's going to take you a lot more, especially when placing the explosives, but my profit per hour went to almost 700C, or 6.13x per hour in the end. So yeah, overall, like I said, super fun strategy. Pretty good. This is actually better than my Metamorph strat. Metamorph strat was around about 5x, but it's a little harder to estimate. Although this might take a little bit more to actually sell all the stuff, because you have a broader range of stuff that you actually have to price and sell. So in conclusion, this is a very, very nice way to earn currency. Logbooks are great fun in my opinion, but what I will say here at the end again, because I hope you watch the conclusion, is these maps are actually pretty rough. So what I didn't tell you at the start is I actually bricked 2 maps because I had the boss at a bad point. I had mods in there that just didn't really allow me to get through the boss. Like Vorana, the Scythe Lady, is ridiculous. Like when she hits you and one-shots you, you will always get hit somewhere, and it's going to be really, really rough. So what I'm telling you is, if you have a bad build, or like a weaker build that is still ramping up, don't do these, at least not the high level ones. Like I said, all of the ones I did were level 84 monster level or higher. I think like 2 or 3 were like 83. But overall, don't make them too hard. I actually spent a lot of chaos rerolling, probably around 200 to 250 chaos for 100 maps. That should tell you everything. Yeah, in the end, it was super fun though. And will this be a pain to sell? Sure. But I mean, you can just bulk price it, and at the end of the day, you have to do the same in mapping anyways, because even when you just normally map, you're going to drop all of this garbage. That's just the problem with PoE at the moment, in my opinion, especially with this kind of trading that we have going on right now. But overall, really, really fun, and I will probably do this again. I might just focus on logbooks the whole week. I don't know. Super fun, and yeah, that's basically all I have to say. But that's it for the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. You can also follow me on twitch.tv/Palsteron. I'll be starting to stream real soon. You can also join our Discord. Link is in the description down below. And yeah, super fun. I usually don't do these kinds of videos. It was kind of a hassle to actually sort all of them out. I'm not going to lie. But I might do this again in the future. I don't know how this video does. I don't know how you guys like this sort of content. Definitely tell me in the description down below. Or if this is already oversaturated from other people. I know a lot of people are doing this kind of videos. I'm kind of getting tired of it myself. So if you get tired as well, just tell me. But I kind of wanted to represent just how I did in these logbooks. And yeah, overall, extremely fun, very profitable, and I would try it again just for the fun factor alone. But with that being said, since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.